Well, Sue, as you've noticed already, making themselves at home, family and friends, including Marlene Sidaway, Anne Rye, and Bridget Forsyth. Well, over 9 years as a resident of Brookside Close, you've become part of the fixtures and fittings. After a hard day at the studios, you go home to your husband, himself an actor, and your 3 children. Not long ago, you took them and large helpings of sunscreen for a family break, and the cameras came too.
Mount Kilimanjaro, what an amazing sight for me, Rosie, Richard, Emily, and my husband David.
Right, who's ready for the first safari? Hey, go on.
Wish they were here? Well, of course they are, with your children Emily, Richard and Rosie, your husband of 22 years, David Fleischman. Well, Emily, that was a nice start on television for you. Are you all going to be actors?
Well, we all want to follow Mum and Dad into the business, but Rosie and I want to act, and Richard wants to sing.
Davey, we know you from Trial and Retribution and Coronation Street, and you met Sue on her first day at work in the business, but there were strings attached.
Yeah, there certainly were. We were touring schools with the Argyle Theatre for Youth, which meant us playing 4 schools a day, and we played Pinocchio, and Sue was Pinocchio, and I was Mr. Fox, which gave us lots of opportunity to cuddle in the woods. She was a wonderful Pinocchio, and it wasn't a nose that I fell in love with, but that wonderful little voice that she found for the character.
Well, it's obviously an actor's life for you, Sue, and we'll see now some defining moments.
Look at her. She's useless.
Frank. Well, it's nothing like you led me to believe.
It's all right, love. I'll sort it out.
I don't offend easily.
Well, you're a beautiful platinum blonde.
I'm not offended by that.
Oh.
Hello, darling. Lovely night.
Is it?
Fancy a drink with me and my mate?
Terrific. Then maybe we could call in at the abattoir to round off a perfect evening. Stupid.
Come on, get up! You'll just sit there like an idiot acting the fool, Jimmy, move! Hit me back, wailing back, Jimmy! Jimmy, just get up! Get up!
Well, as we've seen, things sometimes get sticky at number 10, Brookside Close, and they've certainly kept viewers glued to the screen. And I'll tell you what, let's meet the neighbours. But Jackie Corkill's life wouldn't be what it is without her husband, Jimmy, and he is here now, Dean Sullivan. Now, Dean, one way or another, Jimmy has given this girl a tough time.
Jimmy has, I haven't. Not many people, I think, know this, Michael, but Sue and I actually go back a long, long way before Brookside was even thought of, I think. Because we, as teenagers, used to be part of a youth theatre group in Liverpool called... Do you remember?
Merseyside Youth Drama.
Yeah, run by...
May Bradbury.
The wonderful May Bradbury, yeah. And we were actually just in one play together. It was actually my first time on stage in a real theatre. I was very, very nervous, but you were a real seasoned performer at that time. And I was really nervous, and I was actually a spear carrier, quite literally, no lines, a spear carrier. But who'd have thought that, you know, all these years later we'd be part of a team and a partnership. And I have to say that the joy of that for me, with working with Sue, is that she is a consummate professional. There's no two ways about that. And also I want to thank you for your loyalty as well. And I don't just mean the loyalty that you have to your family and your friends, which I know is very important to you and you're very fierce about that, but the loyalty you have to your colleagues and to me, that you've shown to me for many, many years, and I know you will do for years to come. I love you.
Thank you, Dean. Well, now, there is one Brookside fancier who'd love to pass on the secrets of her own glamour to Jackie. A word from Lily Savage's good friend, Paula Grady.
Hiya, sir. I'm just going through my cosy. It's a nice fake fair story of my life. Listen, how you doing? Now, you know I'm a huge fan of Brookside, and in particular, I'm a massive fan of Jackie Corkill, the patron saint of the downtrodden wife. And you're always in that rotten overall in that garage. So when he did Lily Live, I thought, let's tart it up, put it in a can frock and see what happens. And my God, did you surprise us all.
Just the kind for sport, I'm told. Can.
Who'd have thought at your time of life you could get your legs up like that? It's a revelation to us all, I tell you. So, have a smashing night. I love the bones here. I hope to see you soon, and God bless. Ta-ra.
Well, let's get to it. Sue Jenkins, this is your life. And you were born in Everton on July the 31st, second daughter for Bert and Marjorie. Sadly, your mother died in 1989. She was ill for some time, but she always put on a brave face, I'm told.
Yes, she was amazing. And there's a real irony, actually, about today, because it's actually the anniversary tomorrow that we lost my mum. So I feel that, I honestly feel that she's got something to do with this. And she's made me what I am, with a bit of help from my dad.
Well, talking of your dad, he worked in the transport department of Liverpool Corporation. He's now 76. You phone him every day, and you go to see him as often as you can at his home in St Helens.
I'm bound to say, Sue, your sense of direction has got no better over the years.
But he's safely here with your sister Pam, your father, Bert Jenkins.
My mum would have been proud, Dad, wouldn't
So, Bert, Sue tends to wander, does she?
Yes, it's got that bad that her mum used to take her everywhere in the car. It doesn't matter where it was, her mother took her. And there's one occasion she twisted her mum's arm to let her go to the ice rink with her friends. Well, getting the bus from Anfield football ground to the ice rink was no problem, it's only 6 stops. When she was time to come out, she went in the wrong queue to hand the skate to. When she came out, her friends had gone. And Sue got on the 26th bus, the same one that took her, instead of crossing the road. And she went on a Cook's tour around the south end of Liverpool. And they took her to the terminus in the town then, and fortunately there was a chap there who had his children and his wife, and they were out for the day, and spotted the problems that she was in, like she was distressed, and brought her home, and panic stations were okay then.
You go to Hayworth Primary School once you've found it, and after passing your 11 plus, you move on to Queen Mary High School for Girls in Liverpool.
And there you showed your talent and a bit of leg.
34 years on, your schoolmate Lorraine Whittle. Lorraine, I think you've got our interest.
Well, I think everybody wants to know a little bit about our school days, but we weren't really naughty, were we? We didn't do anything wrong. No. But what I remember, we always used to be hitching our skirts up, rolling them up, and then as soon as the head teacher came, they'd be back down again. So most of our school days were spent rolling up our skirts and rolling them back down again.
Wonderful story. You've made an old man very happy. Now, at school, you first showed a talent for acting as Juliet in Romeo and Juliet. Despite the thrill of acting, for 16-year-old Sue Jenkins, the official priority is O-levels and a career with prospects. You leave school in 1971 with more than enough qualifications to secure a job at the local Midland Bank. But at the same time, you also apply to the Sheila Elliott Clark School of Dance and Drama. Before you even start at the bank, you learn that you've won a place at the drama school. And Pam, that meant an urgent family discussion.
Well, it did. We all thought that you should take the safe option and get a job in the bank. But you won my mum and dad over, and the night before she was due to start they put a letter through the door and say, thank you, but no thank you.
I decided to be an actress.
And she did actually get a nice letter back and say, well, good luck.
And don't expect an overdraft. At drama school, you start to learn the basics of your craft.
But at first, the principal was worried for your health.
You haven't seen her for more than 20 years. Your drama teacher, Maureen Blackie. Maureen, dare I ask why the principal was worried?
Well, Sue's mode of dress in those days was knee-length white boots and the shortest skirts in the history of fashion. And Miss Elliott Clark would look you up and down and say, that girl will get pneumonia in those pelmets. But you were so enthusiastic. Shakespeare, Restoration comedy, Eugene O'Neill. That was what made my job worthwhile. It's a joy to teach.
Thank you very much. You leave drama school at Christmas 1973 and get your first job in professional theatre on January the 7th, 1974. It's the Argyle Theatre for Youth. When you report to your digs in New Brighton on the Wirral, the door is opened by a certain David Fleischman. You get to know each other when you go on tour. But David, Sue needed a bit of guidance.
She certainly did. We were touring. I was the company manager, so we started to spend a lot of our lunch times together. And I had all the banking to do from all the money we'd collected from the shows we'd done that morning. And one afternoon I noticed that Sue was also in a queue at the bank alongside me, in a different queue. And I presumed she had some financial business to deal with. And she got as far as the counter, got up to the teller and asked for a first-class stamp. At that point I knew she needed taking in hand. She needed some assistance.
Still, you learned some very valuable lessons with the Argyle Theatre Group, and in your first year, you win a part in the hit police drama Z Cars.
Can I help you?
I want to make a complaint.
A complaint?
Yeah. There is the right word, is it?
Well, yeah, it could be. Who against?
Sorry.
Who do you wish to make the complaint against, love?
Oh, Mr. Sharp. The school bus driver.
You go back to the theatre with David, and over the next 10 years, you build an impressive CV, working all over the north of England. Well, it's obviously great fun, but although the work is regular, you're not making a fortune, and you sometimes have to rely on the kindness of others. Thankfully, there's a lot of that in the theatre. And in Bolton, the actors in need found a friend indeed, David.
No, we certainly did. We were both working at the Octagon Theatre in Bolton. We required digs, and we found a wonderful flat over a wool shop in the centre of Bolton. And the landlady, who was so kind of us, not only offered us board and lodgings, but constantly cooked for us. So consequently, whenever we came home from the shows in the evening, there was always hot soup, cakes, scones, all homemade, and she was absolutely marvellous.
and that landlady becomes like a second mum to you both. You still visit her with all your family.
And tonight, because I knew I was coming, I baked a cake.
The hostess with the mostess, Marjorie Isherwood. Marjorie, this is beginning to look like a scene from Cracker Jack, but what is it you've made?
This is a custard tart. Sue's favourite, and David. But you can't have it now, you can have it later.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. Well, in 1978, you and David appear at the Contact Theatre in Manchester in the Alan Bleasdale play Pimples. It proves a romantic spot. In a break between performances, you marry at the Unitarian Chapel in Rivington on May the 28th. At Oldham, you decide to subsidise your pay by taking a stall in the local Tommy Field market. Your speciality, bric-a-brac. A neighbouring stallholder was another actor, one of the original cast of Coronation Street, Alan Rothwell. Alan, you helped keep their antique show on the road.
Yes, we had stalls back to back so that we could look after each other's stall when one of us got a job. It was a lovely time. It was nice in the summer, August the 14th.
During a run in Harrogate in 1982, you're given a really choice role, the Liverpool hairdresser who's determined to improve herself in Willie Russell's Educating Rita.
But at first, I thought it was going to be a case of educating Sue.
With his wife, Sue Nichols, Mark Eden. So, Mark, what was wrong?
Well, it's a two-hander play, right? And you rely on each other. And I arrived, and there was this beautiful girl with no accent, and I thought, where is Rita? You know, first 5 minutes of rehearsal, there it was, this wonderful accent, this wonderful... You were terrific in that, you know.
And later, of course, you met up again on the street.
Well, I enjoyed working with Sue so much that I said, I really would love to work with you again. And within a year, I was having an affair with her on Coronation Street. Within the storyline, I hate to add.
Sue, of course, you were there to keep an eye on them anyway.
Of course. You are such a wonderful actress because you really go for it, you know? I love that you actually go for it, and I admire you so much. I just want to do a deal with you, darling, because you know that I am your husband's biggest fan. I know it's your life, but I want to make a deal tonight. I think he's such a wonderful actor and a fabulous director. Now, you have worked with my husband very early on. Can you help me work with yours?
Yeah.
So well done tonight. Nobody deserves it more than you. So, bless you.
Thank you. Gradually, you become a familiar face on television, and then in 1984, you have a special reason to smile. You're signed up for 6 episodes of Coronation Street. You play Gloria Todd, barmaid of the Rovers Return. You prove to be to everyone's taste, and you're invited to return to the Rovers full-time in June 1985.
But by then, whiskey and rum were not the only tots on your mind.
Taking a break from her hardware shop, Sally Whittaker. You're saying Sue had something to think about.
Well, she did. I remember walking in the canteen and there's tiny Sue tucking into the biggest breakfast I've ever seen. I said, Sue, you're eating a hell of a lot. And she said, well, I'm pregnant. So I have to say, Sue, I really admire you. Not only are you a wonderful actress, but you are a superb mother. And to combine the two is very difficult. And you do it brilliantly. Congratulations.
You stay in the street for 4 years. You leave in 1989 to have your second child, Richard. 2 years later, you get the call to join the cast of Brookside. You're booked for just a couple of episodes, but like Gloria Todd on Coronation Street, you make Jackie Corkhill such a popular character that you're called back to the Close.
You're a born loser, Jimmy Corkhill. A no good, no hope loser. He's gonna die, isn't he?
Jimmy, can you hear me, son? Your dinner's in the bin, Jimmy. Just like our marriage.
Well before Brookside, Merseyside was familiar to people who'd never been anywhere near it, partly due to a famous song by Jerry Marsden.
So very, something very, about this land, the place
Jerry.
She is gorgeous. Listen, she's not just a brilliant actress, she's a brilliant person. Because off stage, that lots of our fans don't know, any charity functions, Sue comes first of anybody and she stays the longest. She's brilliant. We love her. I'm proud of her. And so is Liverpool. Oh. Sue. God bless.
Well said, Jerry. Now, after you've been in Brookside a year or so, you have your third child, Rosie. So, talking about future stars, Rosie, do you enjoy watching your mum on television?
Yes, I do, but if The Simpsons is on the other channel, I'll definitely watch The Simpsons.
Yeah, it's a hard decision, I understand that. Richard, your mum and dad are both actors, as we know. Do they bring their work home?
Well, often I play Jimmy Corkill when I'm testing Mum on her lines, but she's my mum and she's a great one at that. And when Dad sprung it upon me that Mum was going to be on This Is Your Life, I said, but it's Mum. She runs me to school, she takes me back, she hasn't got a life.
Yes. So, lots of work and a healthy family. Over now to a family friend who's also in the business and about to go on stage in the West End, Rolf Saxon.
Congratulations, Sue. This is fantastic, and it couldn't have happened to a nicer lady. Now, what can I say? There's a couple of stories that spring to mind. A certain fish dinner, the millennium, David's DIY weekend. But I think I'm going to stick to something my granddad told me a long time ago. And very simply, it's when things are going well, enjoy your friends. And when things are not going very well, cherish the friends that stick around. The risk of sounding horribly Californian, you guys definitely fall into the latter category. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Take care. God bless. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Now, running a career and a family means a lot of careful scheduling, not only for you, but for the producers, including the creator of Brookside, Phil Redmond.
Hi, Sue. Life's full of surprises, isn't it? Especially in television. And one of the things I've always valued about having you around is that we can actually throw the surprises at you, and we know that you'll be able to cope, especially like things like the recent storyline and all the trials and tribulations you've had to put up with Jimmy over the years. But anyway, I hope you're not just coping with tonight's surprise, but that you're really enjoying this great occasion. And I'll see you soon.
On the screen, of course, your daughter, Lindsay, is played by Claire Sweeney. Claire, it's a good relationship.
Brilliant relationship, isn't it, Sue? Yeah. I think, as Dean was saying earlier, Sue is a very, very loyal person. And when I first came into the show, both Dean and Sue supported me and helped me along, and we've all become very close friends, and yeah, everything rolled into one. Sue, mum, sister, best friend, everything. Love you.
Well, in the whirlpool of human emotion that is soap, there occasionally comes the 6-pack of tissues episode. There was one in Brookside not long ago when you said goodbye to a favourite character who left the close to work on a Hollywood movie.
You better watch out when Jenko's about.
He was Sinbad, Michael Stark. What do we have to watch out for then?
Well, everything's been said about it tonight. Dean said it all so well before everyone said anything. And I'm not educated enough to describe what she means to me and everybody she works with. But I love her very much. She's great. She gives from here. And my only regret was that Sinbad and Jackie didn't get it on before they knew that. If I could have got my leg over the twin tub, who knows? But no, she's great, and I love her, and I'm just made up to be here.
Oh. Good luck.
Cheers.
Thank you, Michael.
See you later,
Now, the show that you first appeared in 15 years ago has now been part of our lives for more than 40 years. You became part of that folklore when you slid in behind the bar of The Rover's Return. The viewers approved, and happily so did the regulars.
And we're here to say...
Your street's ahead with us.
Jack and Vera, Bill Charmy and Elizabeth Dawn. So, Bill, you were pleased to welcome Sue?
Yeah, she's one of the gentlest souls I've ever worked with. She really is. Jack, try to woo her with a rose. Just think where we would have been today, kid.
She's
Liz.
such a special person. Well, you've only got to look at her, haven't you? She radiates. Well, she radiated him anyway. Wait, do you know, I'm so thrilled for you. Nobody deserves it better.
Thank you.
Sue Jenkins, this is your life.
Christmas in Benidorm with feathers and festivities. BBC One escapes to the sun after the midweek lottery draw coming next.